Line writing is just fantastic in composition. And one of the most common misunderstandings that I come across is most composers think that a line has to be just one voice. Actually, I believe that's not true, because you can harmonize a line and can make it thicker and therefore have it more energy in a way and more weight. I want to talk you through an example in the video right now that shows the application of line writing and how to make this fit into your orchestration. So please check this out. And when you look at the registers of all of the stuff that's going on, like the brown guy down here, the purple guy, the green one, and the blue one, there is no crossing going on. No crossing. It's just like, okay, everybody plays in its own respective register. And that keeps it transparent. This is also a great device to bring things down, because in the orchestration afterwards, this is going to be my orchestral climax here, these two bars. The idea of creating a climax is done very elegantly when you not only build to the top, but at the same time go down in the bottom, so that you really open up with both sides and, of course, bring in more dynamics. But that's a great way to create a climax. So you have a strong foundation, a strong basis, and you can have something soaring on top. This all works very nicely. You recognize that these three notes right here, that's the end of my motif. I just repeat those, actually the four notes here. I just repeat those in an octave position downwards. Mainly for the reason, now let's bring things down again. And by having this little musical quote in there, and you hear this in so many works, in classical works, in film scores, this is just something that I would refer to as composing with time, because you're not giving new information really. You're just buying a little bit of time to have a fluent transition downwards in dynamics and maybe change in registers. I'm leaving my upper register here and going down into the middle register again. And then I'm going to resolve this whole thing and go back to the strong root tone here. And that's the moment where you can have the G doubled and stuff like that. Then it doesn't matter anymore, because then the G becomes part of the overtone series. When you play this G as your lowest note, as a very loud tone in that register, it will create its own set of overtones. And that's causing the problem actually here. So for that reason, you don't want to stress this guy in octave positions so much. Okay, maybe most of you or everybody of you will know this, but that's an important concept of orchestration. And then right here, when I'm bringing this down, I did not want to end the piece so quickly. For that reason, you hear this in film scores a lot. Just have a sustained note, and that is actually my root tone right here. And I'm giving the idea, now we are back on our original root tone. And we are, because when you look at all of the stuff that is going on right now, it's completely based on my A root tone again. So I'm just leaving my A root tone for this bar only. Here, this is really just, again, the idea of playing with time. And for that reason, I have my little variation of the motif show up again. This time, this is a closing statement that plays in the same register as my starting motif right here. And I also play this with horns. I started with horns right here, and this thing is also played by horns. And then again, same thing here. This guy has a rest point. Guess what? You can distribute, again, the attention to different registers and different lines. For that reason, I'm bringing in this guy here, I believe played with some woodwinds. And then when this guy has a rest point, bring in the lower register again. This sounds at least very interesting. What I did is nothing else than scale stepwise movement. So this bass, and I'm doing this in steps, and by steps I don't mean scale steps, but in steps how I bring in the instruments. So I start with the cellos, I believe. Then when I hit the C sharp right here with the cellos, I double with basses, and a little bit of the, I don't know, brass or whatever comes in as well with this purple line here. And now they move in two parts, at least for this first beat here. On the second beat already, now you see that this green guy chimes in. And this also plays scale tones. So this all is based on my Lydian dominant scale, every note that you're seeing here. And they create the idea of moving in chord structures, but they are not really. It's just like scale step movement with the idea in mind of creating no 13ths with any upper parts. And then right here, that's a great structure. You know that I'm a big fan of chromatic harmony, and this is a perfect example, really. So this F sharp goes chromatically into the G, this B goes chromatically into the C, this E goes chromatically into the F, and that's the moment where I'm changing scales again. Because this otherwise would have been an F sharp because of my Lydian scale here. So this would have been scale tone number 6. I wanted to hear this chromatic movement. So for that reason, I changed the scale. And then I thought might be interesting to hear the motif again, right? Because why not? And then I'm just holding this another bar and I'm resolving to a big giant chord structure that gives resolution to everything. And that's the whole idea how I'm ending the piece then. So this was a long speech. Let me just play you this real quick in the sketch. Let's hear this development, and here we go. I've put all the links and the good information about the Music Interval Theory Academy into the description box below this video. If you're interested in getting more info about what we do, what we offer, please check this out. And I can't wait to see you back in one of our next videos. So this was Frank. Enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully see you soon. Bye.